Where is it written that all our dreams must be small?
Hello and welcome back to Talent League. I am your cat of lot and I'm joined by Uncooked, who is a new face. We had Puffer Bob in the last match and now we're joined by the lovely Uncooked. How are we tonight, Uncooked?
That's me, yeah. Uncooked Pasta's in the house, and we're going to have a gale time here. We're speedrunning this intro. Team 82 versus IOTA Esports. The map is going to be Skyscraper, and yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it. We're getting into the game now.
Well, yeah, into the game. Off to Skyscraper we go, and well, I have to ask, Uncooked, what are your predictions for the map bans?
Do you mean the operator bands?
The operator bans, sorry, not operator bans.
It's been a long day.
It has been.
Yeah, honestly, probably looking towards maybe Jackal, Dokkaebi, Flores. That's sort of my attacking, especially here on Skyscraper. We might even see a Montaigne or an Ossa just because of how this map plays. And looking for the first one is actually going to be Nook, which also makes sense, just to sort of deny any of that sort of roam game, or deny any sort of that lurk, that counter roam, and it's going to mean that you can rely a lot more on your default cameras, on your bulletproof cameras, that sort of thing. And then obviously, yeah, talked about the other attacking bans. So very quickly, what's your defensive predictions here, Velocity?
My defensive predictions, see Osa coming out. My defensive predictions, I think Solus has to be in there. Solus is just way too OP. The other one, it's a good question. I mean, I can't really think. I mean, maybe a mirror.
I mean, Azami or Valkyrie also scream out to me, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Actually, yeah, kind of forgot about Azami. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Solus and Azami, and well, Solus comes out as the first. Let's hope we can get the second.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few. You could even go a little bit more out there and maybe say like Smoke, which wouldn't necessarily be too bad of a ban. He's actually quite powerful on this map. Obviously, I didn't expect it to happen. Instead, we're going to see a Melusi. Not entirely sure about that one. Possibly more of a bit of a personal counter against maybe IOTA. Maybe they know something we don't, because Melusi doesn't tend to be played that often anymore. I don't really see that being a really impactful ban from Team 82.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of understand Melusi. She can be quite a useful operator, especially from that top floor in tea room. You know, you put one banshee top black, one top kitchen stairs, and well, then one more wherever you kind of feel like putting it. But I mean, yeah, I do agree. You don't really see her. You know, she's not really that well played much. You know, well played anymore. Sorry, or even just well used, because she is now that one speed, and her banshees aren't even really that good anymore. So I do understand the mythology behind it. However, I don't think it's the most effective ban. But off to Exhibition Office then, and we are seeing a Mirror and Frost Castle Jaeger and the infamous Valkyrie in play. So I don't know about you, but I'd say this is going to be quite a passive hold. I'd say they might try and play this quite aggressively.
For sure, obviously they do have those castle barricades to fall back on as well, to provide that little bit of extra security on the bomb site too, which, is just a little bit of a helping hand that the defense can utilize, especially when it comes closer to the execute. If IOTA take their time getting towards this execute, then it really could be quite handy to have those castle barricades coming through, just to stall things out even more, the mirror windows as well. I'm looking towards the utility, and you can see Sick Boy actually popping one of those mirrors. Replay does have another camera in pocket as well, does throw that, so now that's all the defensive utility, at least the primary gadgets, all spent out. Hated whiffs the drone possibly, or maybe does want to get it downstairs. Either way, we can see aggressive play here yet again. Alex has taken a lot of damage though here downstairs in reception, has to dip themselves away, and indeed does manage to escape, tail between his legs, up back to this top floor, but only got about 10 HP, so that's going to really quite dampen the amount that they can get out of that operator, out of that player for the rest of this round, as we can see more coming through. I believe Sick Boy was able to pop the other mirror window as well, so a lot of positives for IOTA in this first half of the round.
Most definitely, and that Twitch, as you said, coming in, absolute, you know, quite a vital operator pick they have on their hands. They're getting rid of both the mirrors, and well, then obviously additionally can get rid of any other util that is left on the board, and also he does have 2 smokes in pocket, so you know we could see a cheeky little smoke plant.
Yeah.
You never know what can happen in these games.
Yeah, still 2 C4s in the pocket though, so it might be a little bit more difficult, but actually Alex finds the first kill. Even on that 10 HP, is able to take down the Ash of Slay, which means that early advantage goes towards Team 82 here. IOTA, now they're on the back foot, and we can see Carnage now retaking this position, checking for all of these angles, because it just doesn't seem like the intel is there here, Velocity, because they just don't really know like where these players are. Hated does find one, but that's on the breach. That's not necessarily going to be a kill based off of the intel.
Yeah, and I think there is kind of a lack of drone work going on here from this attacking side. Would say in this Sick Boy, he finds one. That's Alex off the board, the Frost. When Replay finds one, I'm going to hand it back over to you just before I carry on.
Yeah, 30 seconds left in the round. Kiers now swinging this breach. Roby is downed inside of Terrace. Absolutely no way they're going to be able to be picked up. But Replay finds another and another through the wall. It's now just Sick Boy. 1 versus 3, essentially 1v2 though, because the Jaeger Roby is still downed. However, it seems like they aren't going to be able to be picked up. Now it's a 1 versus 3, and there's only 10 seconds on the clock here, Velocity. This round should be well and truly done. Team 82 looking to pick it up. There's that castle barricade that we mentioned at the start of the round, and it finishes just like that. 30 seconds was all it took for it to completely fall apart for IOTA, because they weren't necessarily in the worst of positions there.
No, I think it was quite a... They didn't drone as much as possible. Their drone work there was quite sloppy. I mean, and they did also die with, you know, 5 drones in pocket. If we're looking at the replay here, just on your screens now, you get to see this amazing double kill from, I think that was... I can't remember who it was from.
Replay.
Sick Boy, I think. Oh, Replay. Yeah, you get to see Replay on the replay. But I mean, wow, well played from him, sitting behind the bomb chassis. It does take down to it. I mean, that was, you know, let's be honest, that won Team 82 the round.
Attackers need to locate and defeat.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind that that's definitely a leading factor to that, because I mean, 3-0 right now. That's obviously a dominant first round, and without that performance, Team 82 definitely do not win that. IOTA were in a pretty good position. They maybe could have done with a little bit more time on the clock, but it's still not the worst of positions, and they've dealt with that very well. And well, if you can always rely on Replay doing things like that, obviously not a good strategy just to rely on those one-off pop-off hero plays, but you know, if that can get you out of those situations, it's a massive factor and a massive boon for the team as well.
I tell you, that after that round, my eyes are on Replay. I mean, that was...
Yeah.
3k in the first round. I mean, that's how you set the tone of the match, really, isn't it?
Do you want to look at the right-hand side of the screen, just very quickly? I'm looking at Sick Boy.
I was hoping he would switch off. But nonetheless, this is a very typical rush lineup with the Lion, Ash, and Blitz on the operator roster. So, I mean, I think we know what's going to happen, and they do have info on the person that's playing behind this shield. So, well, let's just say I think his days are numbered.
Yeah, obviously there's still possibility for a crossfire. First smoke grenade goes in, gets caught out by an ADS, second one as well. Swings come through from the Valkyrie of Replay, but forced back. Hated, however, is now on low HP, but the nade did find the shield, but taken down from the breach by the Jaeger of Roby. But now Slay is coming up these stairs as well, up the black stairs, but Carnage falls as well. The flash comes through, but the pistol's not good enough as Roby finds another. It's falling apart. IOTA are still crumbling at the seams. How about a flawless to kick things off here? Round number 2 goes the way of Team 82. That was catastrophic.
I'm still kind of trying to process what happened. I mean, we thought they were going to go for a rush, and they used the blitz as an actual method, which I mean, I don't think either of us were expecting on Cooked. I mean, it was effective nonetheless, but as you said, the pistol just wasn't good enough, and well, the flash really just didn't land, did it? But nonetheless, we are going to see him once. Yeah, nonetheless, we are going to see him once again. Ash back on the board as well, and well, now we see Dokkaebi.
I'm very perplexed by that round.
I think we all are.
That's one of the rounds of all time for sure. Again, seeing the blitz as well. I don't know if I like this from Sickboy. It had a lot more impact when they were playing on Twitch. And indeed switches back instead. Yeah, well, at least they're off of the blitz now. I feel like that's the important thing. Lion, still a very useful operator, but he's still got like 15 seconds. So should probably stop trying to analyze the attacking composition and instead focus on the defensive one.
Most definitely. Well, we are in Kitchen,
5 seconds to go.
which can be quite a I find sometimes can be quite an attacking-sided site. That's such a mouthful to say. Because of the sheer amount of vertical play you can play on it, and well, then you kind of have to. Through that vertical play, you kind of flush out anyone that's sat on the site. And, well, by the looks of it, they're bringing the buck and they're bringing the sledge, so they are going to go just to do that. They are going to do just that. I keep stumbling over my words tonight.
Yeah. Here's for everyone at home as well. If you want to be able to speak quickly, is a really good exercise. You just say the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Just keep repeating that. Maybe not on broadcast, but it's a very good one for warming up. It's quite good.
I'm going to have to take that into account next time before I go on a cast.
It keeps it. So there you go. I should probably have warmed up more, but it keeps your tongue and your teeth and your lips tactile in the round. But Lockford's been downed here very early on. The Toxic Babe's going to finish him off, and that's going to be AZ getting that first kill here inside of round number 3. Very early on for the Smoke to be in that engagement, first minute of the round, but still works out in the way of Team 82 nevertheless. And well, it seems like this game might be less close than we had maybe hoped and anticipated. Obviously, both these teams 3 wins and 2 losses so far in the qualifiers, but they have had kind of different paths to get here. I have another about that because more swings coming through, and Ozzy with another SMG-11 from that range through the pixel, taking out Sickboy. That's Lion Scans all gone, and Carnage gets taken down as well. Alex from above. Slay does find one back before being traded out by Roby, and there comes the timeout being requested by IOTA. They're definitely going to want to have a chat after this one, because as the way things stand, it's going to be 3 rounds to 0 as RZ shuts it down 82 with a demanding lead here.
A nice little 360 finish as well, but can I point out, he did down him through the wall. He did down the Jaeger, I think. Down but not out, but still, that was impressive. I mean, I didn't think it was going to happen, but then we see the little 360, and well, then it is finished off. But nonetheless, onto a timeout. Then, what are we thinking that the support staff, shall we say, if they have support staff, that is, are saying to the guys?
Maybe quite a few swear words? I don't know. I mean,
words we can't say on the broadcast.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be some quite colourful language. I mean, they've got 3 kills inside of 3 rounds, and they haven't really looked close. I mean, their closest round was at round number 1, where you just had Replay getting a 2k on the breach, and it's pretty much over, right? It went from a 3v3 to a 0v3, essentially. So IOTA needs to really build on that round 1 performance and kind of ignore what happened in rounds 2 and 3, especially round 2. They went for that rush, they went for that sort of gimmicky play, and it just did not work out.
Yeah, and I have to agree. Well, nonetheless, we are going to see the mirror back in play. I don't think she was in play last round. Well, we're going to see her once more, and now we see Ace being brought for a change. We haven't seen Ace being brought once this round, so we do like to see some adaptations. We do like to see some changes over here, and especially for us casters.
Yeah, still no Twitch though. Sickboy obviously could still change, or one of the other players could. But again, looking at that defensive composition, we're seeing a Frost being brought along again. That's Alex, who's been kind of sticking on this operator, not necessarily one that you would say tends to be sort of the mainstay in defensive lineups. But, well, Alex has seemed to take a bit of a shining to that Canadian operative. So Yeah, maybe might work out. However, obviously, if teams start to expect it, it can get a little bit old, a little bit too predictable. And speaking of predictable, Sick Boy's back on that Twitch, just like I said. These mirror windows could yet again find themselves the victims of those little zaps.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that is obviously the intention of Sick Boy. And well, once again, I think he's going to try and actually use his smokes to an advantage this time. We didn't see him use them once last time they were on this site. So let's hope we see him use them once at least once in this round.
Yeah, for sure. In comes a Twitch drone. That's going to be an easy catch on that first mirror window. Going to look to do the second in the same breath, and indeed pops it. Means that second drone is now more useful for other things, but it's Lockford who finds the first, taking out Roby, who's been a big hitter for the side of Team 82 so far. 4 kills, first death now of the game as more breaches start to be opened up elsewhere. AZ is going to get very aggressive on this one though, taking that swing, but it's just not going to be anything found from it. Hated taking a bit of heat as well, has to just dip themselves back, and Carnage is on the hunt on the other side, on that western front. It's a lot of pressure all over the map as the timer continues to tick down. IOTA are at risk at stalling themselves out, but these positions just need to be cleared as Kiz finds one. Alex is still downstairs on this roam. You've still got Kiz up there on Shrine as well. Slade does take down Replay, so heroics from the first time around definitely not going to be repeated, but Alex is just gonna rotate up, and if they're not aware of this, this should be a free pick.
Most definitely. Well, we're talking about Alex, and he finds one. That's Carnage off the board, the Iana, and I mean, that's quite a big pick. 2 frag grenades off the board, and well, especially with the clones that are quite annoying to play. And Slay also then just move into Geisha to maybe try and get a bit aggressive on those kitchen stairs. Not on the kitchen stairs, but yeah, on the kitchen stairs. Sorry.
Yeah, when you say aggressive, it's still a very far packed position from that far in the round. And RZ taken out Hated through a pixel angle, but Sick Boy finds themselves going in. Alexo with the refrag. Now Slay left 1 versus 2 in another clutch situation. This time does have a bit more HP and a bit more confidence as well. 2 kills here, but not going to be a third as Kiz with that very long angle through the dragon shuts things down yet again. And 82 continuing their onslaught. It's 4 rounds to 0 here, Velocity, and this could just be another stomping, which, if you wanted to see maybe a close game, then unfortunate for you, but hashtag blame tripping. In the Twitch chat, that's what I want to see. Hashtag blame tripping.
Hashtag blame tripping. Well, on your screens then, you have just seen the amazing shot from the mirror, who was Azad? Is that how you say his name?
I've been saying Azad, yeah.
Azad. Azad, the amazing shot from him, or from the mirror onto the Ash, I think it was, maybe. But I mean, yeah, what a shot that was from him. That was
wild.
I don't think anyone. I mean, we did see Sick Boy have the Bolo charm on Twitch. Well, you need to give Azad the Bolo charm for that.
No, we just need an Azad.
Azad charm. Or just bring Bolo back.
Yeah, when does Bolo play? When does Bolo play?
Well, if you did watch any of the Copenhagen Major and the show matches, some people holding the signs up asking when does Bolo play. So, well, you never know. He might come back after that.
You're just saying that because those were your mates.
10 seconds left.
The teammates, but yes.
I'm real.
5 seconds.
Unbelievable. We can't allow this kind of advertising. Unbiased casters, honestly. We need.
Well, nonetheless, let's move on then. Off to tea room, and karaoke we go, Mr. Uncooked.
Yeah, that's me.
What we think, we do not see the Twitch being played once more, even though the mirror is on the board for Team 82.
At least it ain't Blitz.
At least it isn't Blitz, yeah. So this could be quite interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they counter this mirror.
Yeah, I think the Zephyr is mainly sort of to try and catch out maybe those deployable shields. Obviously, you can use the concussion grenades of the lifeline to sort of burn ADSs, and then use the breaching ones just to take away some of those shields. Obviously, you have the ace in play as well, and when they're not breaching open walls, you can use those Selma charges to clear away deployable shields as well. As it stands though, Carnage does go hunting, finds the first, taking out Alex. That's the first kill of the game for the Yana. A bit late in round 5, but hey, at least they're warming up a little bit. Although can't really be said for IOTA as a whole. Still yet to find a round. However, it is a good advantage yet again. However, Sick Boy might just find themselves being caught out here by Kiz, who's again playing in this shrine position, has been very adept at doing so. The UMP does have the 1.5 on Castle, and it's very, very strong when you have that setup, when you have that configuration. Beautiful C4, shooting for 3 from Replay, but Lockford does find a trade, finds a response. However, Replay's still up. That's a first kill since that very first round, and Kiz still making themselves a nuisance. So 80 seconds left on the clock. IOTA yet again find themselves a little bit stalled out. However, they do have that player advantage. It's just a question of whether they can convert that into a round win.
Oh, most definitely. A Sick Boy in a quite a strong position here on drum. He does have head holes looking into T room, but can he do anything off of it? Hixt is outside Geisha as well, alongside his teammate IQ. He's going to be breaching the Geisha wall, and well, now they have a basically full rotation from Geisha into drum, and we say that Lockford, he finds Replay.
Now 2 versus 4, it's looking worse and worse. IOTA could be setting themselves up for their very first round. Kiz has been spotted on the drone, but the swing comes through. Now in a 1 versus 3, however, as Hated took down RZ. So still a very difficult position. 30 seconds left though. Still means that the attack does have plenty of time. However, if say this planter does get killed, it would be a very, very bad situation. I don't think it will happen though, and indeed Lockford completes, and Kiz does come through with a swing, not able to find the shot onto Sick Boy, however, and Hated shuts it down. IOTA finally get a round on the board. It's 4 rounds to 1.
Well, I mean, I won't lie, the castle really had me, I thought he was on to clutch it, I won't lie to you. But I mean, very, very well played from Kiz, and well, I mean, if that doesn't show what the man is capable of, then, well, I don't know what will.
Some pretty nasty shots, but again, just not enough. Replay again finally found the scoreboard. I highlighted it in that round, but yeah, they got that 3K in round number 1, kind of fell silent until round 5. So yeah, good to see these different players stepping up, and Dazed still kind of top fragging the lobby, along with Alex, which is again kind of mental, considering these two players seem to be more supportive. You know, Smoke and Frost not necessarily the ones you would say would be getting the frags in the composition, but hey, you know what? If it works, then it works, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, having the 2 supporting operators leading the charge of the fragging power of the team is quite unusual to see, but obviously isn't unheard of. But off to Kitchen we go for one more time on the split, and the second time we've seen in this matchup. We did see Team 82 take this, so will they be able to replicate and take it once more?
Well, it's certainly a
from
good
a small
start.
peak.
Certainly a good start. Taking out Slay, that's the IQ. Almost a perfect counter to Replay's Valkyrie themselves. Although, Replay, come on, man, you gotta start placing these Valkyrie cameras a little bit earlier. Like, you went for a spawn peak with still 2 in the pocket. Like, if that fails, which obviously it didn't, but if it fails, that's a lot of utility immediately down the train, just being wasted, essentially. So, you know, priorities have to be questioned for Team 82, however, still not necessarily the worst start. And, well, they've got themselves a pretty strong position, obviously using the castle of Kiz, using those barricades, just to stall out this position. This time it's Alex playing on the shrine position, not Kiz, who themselves is a very strong gunner in their own right. Still, like I said, top fragging the lobby with Replay and RZ. But speaking of Replay, taken down by Sick Boy. That's a Sophia coming on through into drum and taking that position out of their hands. Continuing to push through towards Geisha, where the Castle of Kiz is playing, but shuts them down. So this position safe for now.
Most definitely, and IOTA have kind of been stalled once more. This has been a struggle they've had throughout this their attacking side, and well, they've been stalled. And now we look at them; they do have drones in the pocket, and well, why aren't they using them? Well, we're never going to know, are we? Because well, drone work clearly isn't a strong point of IOTA, but also is a key thing. You need to be able to drone to play Siege.
Yeah, for sure. And it's that question again, because we saw those sort of problems in the first round, as Hated stepping up towards Geisha doesn't necessarily know where Kiz is playing, but now is definitely going to be aware of it. They call it the end of the player, and Carnage finishes them off. So 3 versus 3 with 50 seconds. It's starting to get a little bit closer, but as the timer continues to tick, it's going to go more in the favor of Team 82, obviously being that defensive side. So IOTA, they need to get a wriggle on here, lest they're at risk for stalling out on the clock yet again. We've seen it in round number 1, and we could just see it again here too. RZ with a lovely swing, the SMG-11 just blessing this operator right now. The smoke is hitting shots, and it's certainly coming up clutch. Roby with a lovely kill through the soft wall as well. Carnage is going to get shut down by the swing. Diego with 2 to finish the round, and that's a 5-1 half here velocity. Team 82, they want to get that 4th win on the board, and they want to potentially secure their spot. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, it's the top 8. I'm not entirely sure how those positions will be divided, but I think if they get this win on the board, then they will probably be safe, because they're currently sitting in 8th place already. You know, taken into account before this game, it's looking pretty good for them, I will say.
Oh, it is most definitely, and I am actually very, very excited to see them on this this attacking side. We've seen their caliber, what they are capable of on the defense, and reasonably aggressive roster. However, on the attacking side, it's going to be a bit different, and I am quite excited to see what they can bring.
Yeah. The defensive compositions, though, from IOTA seems a little bit archaic, if I'm going to be honest. Seeing a Maestro, Alibi, Warden sort of thing, that screams to me, maybe not the Warden, but certainly Maestro and Alibi screams to me like 2021. You know, when I first got involved with Siege, this is the type of lineup that we'd be seeing. I'm transported back in time a little bit. So
you know what this screams to me, Uncooked? Someone mispicked. Someone mispicked an operator. But yeah, I have to agree with you. Like this is a 2021
I don't necessarily dislike it, to be honest. I still think Maestro can be quite useful if you, especially if you use him correctly. The Elder's still a clutch machine, and that certainly hasn't changed. Especially with LMG recall changes, Maestro's kind of been left untouched from that. So, yeah, still a clutch machine, and in the right hands, Hated is 3 and 5, but this could be their calling, and it might just completely change. We often say there are some players who are attacker-sided, who are defender-sided. Maybe Hater's just a defender-sided player. Maybe they're just a Maestro main.
Well, you never know. We are going to have to wait and see. We did see the house wall being opened up, was remained soft, and Carnage finds one, takes replay off the board.
Yeah, good start for IOTA. Potentially offsetting this match point. Obviously, if Team 82 do win this attack, or do win any attack really, that's going to be match point for them. That 5-1 half is just so incredibly scary because of that prospect. They're always knocking on the door, and if they get just one attack hit, they will confirm themselves at least 1 point, because obviously we're doing the standard OT point system with 3-2-1-0 that you will see in almost every league around the world, so I'm not necessarily going to explain it here. And oh my god, Slay able to get kills somehow? Okay.
Oh no.
180 turnaround, taking out RZ, who we sung their praises in that first half, but it's just not coming through. Slay's down to about 50 HP, and well, at least there's a response from 82. Kiz taking down Carnage on that top floor. But
I mean,
oh, that's tough. That's tough.
I don't know how. I mean, RZ should have had that kill. I don't know what happened there, or
that's like my game.
Whatever. Yeah, the same. Likewise. But
Silver 1. Let's go.
I don't know what's happened here, but at least Kiz has come out with a response and is going to try once more, taking some shots onto the Frost of Lockford.
Yeah, pressure coming through from the drum side as well, but it's Slay who finds the kill. Lockford does take one down as well. It's Kiz left in a clutch and can't get anything done about it. IOTA find their second round, and this defensive side on Skyscraper just looking so strong, because 82 were not able to even get a single look in this round. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too sure what went wrong on that side of 82. Obviously, Azid's whiff. But I mean, other than that, I don't really know what went too wrong. Obviously, a lack of drone work, I think, is kind of an issue there as well. But however, likewise with with the opposition, then well, they struggled with drone work as well. So we're just gonna have to wait and see if Team 82 can adapt, and unlike IOTA, who struggled.
Ooh, that's a nice Kaid claw as well.
It is. I got to point that out.
Very sneaky. And then it still allows that other claw to be used for the other two walls there. You know, place it behind minibar. Very strong position. Again, seeing the alibi come through and a go-yo. So IOTA, very different style of defense that we saw from Team 82. And the more important part of that is there's no Frost. I feel like I'm so used to seeing a Frost with the defenses just because of Alex that it's yeah, it's almost like a breath of fresh air to not see it. Lockford placing those mute jammers, just going to be a bit more of that wall denial like we saw from the Kaid of Hated. So yeah, certainly could be very powerful. Carnage looking on these default camps, no run out opportunity available, but doesn't choose to rebarricade that door. So that's going to be a little bit of intel actually lost for the side of IOTA, because obviously if the attackers are going to be trying to access into Terrace, they're going to have to destroy the barricade. That creates a sound cue, but now that that's not there, actually working out in Team 82's favour.
Most definitely, and I mean, I'm not sure if he put it out, but we are seeing a Jackal and a Gridlock in play. We don't see either operators play too much in competitive. Jackal's seen a little bit more than Gridlock, but well, it is quite nice to have a refresher of both these players, both these operators. Sorry, Alex with a ludicrous shot onto Carnage, and replay to claim one more of Sick Boy.
And, well, there's a player being hunted as well. Slay has to dip all the way back to Terrace and even further because Shrine Dragon, they've been compromised. The attack of Team 82 converging and pincering onto this bomb site with such efficacy right now. Kiz is knocking on the door already, and we've barely seen half the round. I was going to say, never mind. Replay shuts me up and shuts down Slay. It's a 2 versus 5 for IOTA, and Lockford's in a bad spot. Does manage to claim the life of Replay, who is just going to crawl behind the table. C4 doesn't land, and Hated finds another. That's a TCSG. He spots the player on the VIP lounge as well. That's RZ, and he's going to go for the swing. However, the position's known, and the headshot comes through. It's now a 2 versus 2. IOTA on the verge of bringing this one back as Lockford finally finds that confirmation on Replay. Now the 2 versus 2 established, solidified, and Alex and Kiz separated and isolated. They are alone. These 1v1s can be taken by IOTA. However, they are equally separated in this map. Hated going aggressive here on the VIP door, looking towards that sort of terrace position as Alex drones in. Kiz now knows that the player's behind the minibar, but can't do anything about it. Everyone's just crouched. Everyone is just hiding their position. And the drone hasn't spotted Hated. Does finally get that confirmation across. And Kiz shuts him down. It's now 1 versus 2 for Lockford here. 30 seconds left. The SMG-11 isn't quite cutting it in this situation. No time to reload because the pressure is just too much. Alex with the overwatch from this other side. Kiz planting the diffuser, but he's looked away. He's allowed that cross to happen. Lockford, though, is still in such a difficult position. Has no intel on where these players are. This should be 82 82 getting match point. They should be safe for some incredible heroics from Lockford. Kiz and Alex still here against the world. 30 seconds left on that diffuser timer, and they know the position here. Alex finds himself downed. It's just a 1 versus 1, and the shotgun clutches it. That's going to be the round. Lockford confirms his kills. Plenty of time. IOTA, they stay in this round, in this game. Velocity. What a clutch coming through.
I was certain Team 82 were about to win this, and I was actually about to comment how disciplined and how impressed I was that both players haven't just pushed and swung at the same time and haven't played aggressive. They've played their angles and they've played passive. But Lockford said no, and he had something to say about it, and comes in with an amazing clutch, 1 injured and then 1 with a shotgun. Absolutely ludicrous.
I don't have any water. I need to drink some water after that one. My throat is now gone, bro.
That was an amazing clutch. I really thought Team 82 there were about to go to match point and were about to, you know. I think we all are. You know, that was.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
wow.
as many bombs as they can.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
He keeps IOTA in this. IOTA still clutching on to the last straw.
Tachanka, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? I feel like I'm in an alternate dimension right now.
I think, yeah, honestly,
oh
same.
my days. Okay, however, on a serious note, we're now at the tertiary bomb site for IOTA, and considering how close Exhibition is, one of the stronger sites for the defense, looking a little bit shaky for this one, especially because tertiary bomb site attackers are expected to win it out, and you know, that sort of 4-2 split will be enough for Team 82 to win this 7-5, because they had that 5-1 half in the beginning. It's the onus is on IOTA to excel, to exceed expectations, to really excel in these defenses, because we saw what Team 82 can do. We need to see that 5-1 or better, because yeah, even that standard 4-2 rotation just won't cut it.
Oh, most definitely, and I agree with you. And well, Carnage takes down 1, creates carnage, but finds himself refragged by Robbie. Yeah,
and that is going to be now 4 versus 4. As yeah, that just early exchange. I think Carnage was a little bit unlucky to not find that kill on to Robbie. However, Hated does respond right back. Mark 14 and Mark 14 action. Oh, this is a disgusting angle. And Hated nearly finds Kiz as well. However, dealt down to about 10 HP themselves. So just having to dip back a little bit. The rotation and the crossover not quite spotted out. And I am just going to yet again point out this to Tachanka. Instead of a smoke, not necessarily too sure about this one. Obviously, ever since, well, now that we know that the deployable shield on smoke is going to be removed, maybe the Tachanka starts to look like a bit of a better option for defenders. However, again, they're just a lot more volatile. The Shimika grenade is just a lot more volatile.
Oh, replays!
Wow.
No replay. What a shot, and Alex to follow up as well.
The intel's just there. They just know.
I won't lie. It came in so quickly, I thought he got 2.
Yeah. Sick Boy, though, does trade 1 back, and again, we're in that 2 versus 2. And Lockford's still alive. I'm getting an immense sense of deja vu here, Velocity. And this angle could potentially catch Alex off guard if he's not aware of it, but only a single lick of damage. I feel like Alex has kind of gotten away with a bit of murder there. Flashbangs come through on this top floor, but now the intel's started to slip a little bit. They don't know that both of these defenders are both downstairs, and 45 seconds, they don't necessarily have the time to drone this out thoroughly. Just quick drone checks, getting the intel down the way through. And they've started to spot that fire as well, which is going to be really quite impressive, especially as this timer continues to drain through the hourglass. The sand just slipping away with 20 seconds now on that clock, or close enough to it. Lockford's watching this drop, and he's going to get caught out from the vertical. That's actually just opening vertical holes from the skeleton key of Alex. There's a little bit of damage, but they don't know Sick Boy's here. With 10 seconds left, he's got 1. Lockford finds the other. And that was a much safer round, much cleaner round, safe for some very nice shots from Replay and Alex. They didn't necessarily look too bothered with that one. That was a very casual round win for Barbecue Kitchen, and well, now they're on track for maybe a 5-1 and possibly even 6-0 to get their way to that get the way to the league even. You know, winning in regulation would be absolutely huge, 3 points.
But definitely, I'm quite disappointed, Uncut, that you didn't make 20 seconds left to Fuser and Hand Joke. You had the prime opportunity.
Yeah, but I'm not basic.
Attackers need to locate and defuse any bombs.
It was a very good round and a very good crossfire set up by IOTA. They are really now trying to claw back what we thought was left of this game, and now it looks like IOTA kind of have this game. They're still down, but only by 1 round, and this can be tied up quite quickly and quite easily by IOTA with the momentum they have behind them. Back off to Tea Room then once more. We did see them play this once, and we're going to see them play it once more today. And well, it was quite a strong sight, I have to say, when they played it. I felt they played it very, very well, and well, overall, it was just a good sight for them. You can't really put it in much simpler terms.
We have confirmation that Maestro was not a misclick.
Yeah, most definitely.
Unless they've made the same mistake twice in a row, which I find to believe. Maestro, an intentional operator, and I feel like after seeing the rather exotic defensive compositions from IOTA thus far, kind of expected that Maestro might be making a return here. This time bringing barbed wire. I don't know whether he had impact last time around, but yeah. Again, interesting choice for the secondary utility, but yeah, can just provide a little bit of intel, a little bit of sound cues, you know how it is.
Yeah, 100%, and it looks like teammates too are going to be trying to clear out or take as much map control of this side of the map as quick as possible, and clearing out any IOTA players, as we know from seeing this now. IOTA are not roam dependent, but let's be honest, they like to swing. They like to play these roams. They like to play aggressive. So clearing out this, these aggressive positions is kind of crucial for Team 82, and it's something they've not been doing quite too well recently.
We are seeing a bit of a switch up though. Frost being brought along by Lockford, which I don't believe was a sort of pick up the last time they played this. And well, we're not going to see that C1 in action because Kiz takes him down. Another beautiful shot from Kiz, and that's going to be Sick Boy taken down as well. The Wamai, I don't believe they had any discs yet left recharging, so at least that's a positive. With half the round gone, IOTA looking worse for wear here as Team 82 have been fired up a little bit, it seems, after those 2-round losses. Carnage retaking into Geisha. Slay still playing over here. You're playing. You don't need to look away from the flash. You're playing Warden. Slay. Okay. Well, they get out of there at any rate. The frag grenade comes through. They certainly can't evade that one. Replay finds the kill. Carnage and Hated just the only ones left, and Hated does a chunk of damage onto Alex, taking him down to about 15 points of health. Carnage, though, is still looking to get something done here as it's Hated who finds the first. Carnage is still looking towards the breach, but shut down, and now Hated's left in a 1 versus 4. I said the Aldo was a clutch machine, and now we're gonna need to see it in action with 40 seconds left here.
Most definitely, and well, we haven't seen too much of Hated, and could this be, his moment, his individual moment for this match, for this match, sorry.
Yeah, well, he whiffed it straight away, so, not necessarily
Great start.
Yeah, wonderful start, and just Replay is just on a heater this round, it seems, just shuts him down. And that's now match point, and, this is a site that you don't necessarily want to lose, because now IOTA, their backs are against the wall, just one more round loss, and it's over. It's absolutely over, and they're gonna be calling the timeout. There we go. So we can see that coming through. They, just sort of level their heads, make sure that they don't get too aggressive, too antsy when it comes to getting this final round across the board. Because you know what they say, the most difficult rounds to win are the first and the last. And, well, we've seen it plenty of times in Siege. That could not be any more true. We've seen comebacks from 0-6 down. We've seen comebacks from 6-3, or teams win just 7 rounds in a row to take a map. It's getting that mental cleared is going to be massively important for 82 here.
Oh, 100%. And obviously, as many people know, that mental is such an important part of Rainbow Six Siege, and especially in the competitive scene. If you know, Team 82 haven't had the finest hour on attack, and it most certainly would be affecting their mental. So just by having this, even if that time was 30 seconds or whatever, just to sit back, just to relax for a minute or so, it will go a long way, and it will reflect on the performance. And considering they are on match point, and this is to keep them for them to advance further into the Titan series. They have to have a level mental. That is a tongue twister and a half.
Level mental, not really.
That is, they have to have a level mental, and well, they now have to they have to try and win this. It's the only thing they can really do now, isn't it? They have to, perform better than IOTA, and seen in last round, they did just that.
Yeah, and I have to say as well, you said we haven't really seen much from Hated, but it's been kind of a consistent sort of presence. We saw them; they were 7-7 when they were in that 1v4. So, it's obviously in a 1 versus 4. You're not expected to get any kills, and indeed they didn't. So, yeah, it's just been sort of a consistent presence. Lockford as well. Obviously we had that 1 versus 2 clutch coming through, which, if that hadn't happened, it would certainly be 7-3. I hazard a guess, maybe even 7-2. I feel like 82 would have just got 2 rounds in a row there if Lockford hadn't clutched out. So, it's massively important. They've had impact, and it's just been kind of consistent. They haven't necessarily needed to fully pop off.
Oh, most definitely. Replay on the Gemini clone. Then he's going to be trying to look to get as much info as possible and clear out as much of the IOTA player, or as many of the IOTA players as he physically can. And well, as we stated at the start of last round, IOTA are quite an aggressive roster, and they do like to play the aggressive angles. And well, that's exactly what they're going to be doing. And by clearing out those players and clearing out the angles that are going to be a threat towards Team 82, it is going to aid them in their attack onto this IOTA defense.
Absolutely. We've seen Kiz do damage from this repel before. And I did just want to say that, honestly, I kind of understand going back to T-Room, because we didn't even touch on the bomb site. Because obviously, the last time they did with Exhibition, it was a 1v2 clutch. You can't necessarily rely on that again, whereas, they have that sort of 50% win rate. It's looked kind of successful. However, as I say that, Kiz finds another kill from this Geisha repel, just absolutely fragging out, and that's such a long angle too. RZ, though, is taken down by Lockford, or maybe even Slay, but Replay does find that kill onto the Frost, and it's another 5 versus 3 situation. Sick Boy, though, does find a response. RZ still low, which means this could very easily switch back to a 3 versus 3. Sick Boy has been spotted out behind the shield. Flashbangs come through, possibly preparing for a frag grenade, so he's just got to dip himself away. Instead, just being used as a deterrent. However, Sick Boy now choosing a different angle of approach, trying to get this kill onto the board, level things out here. As RZ is still very low. However, Alex does take down Slay. Now 4 versus 2. The pressure is now going to be on IOTA. That's a lovely kill, but RZ does trade it back. Hated now 1 versus 3. It's a little bit more clutchable than it was the last time around, but still pretty impossible. And this is for all the marbles. This is to fully save the game, as the Mark 14 of Robbie is just dealing damage through those walls. It hits so hard, packs an incredible punch. But we've seen a little bit of a stall out. Does not matter. Alex shuts it down, and that's the GG's in the chat. 7 rounds to 4, and that should be Team 82 practically confirmed for the main stage for the Titan Series Season 4. I don't necessarily know about how all those tiebreakers are going to pan out, but they were already in 8th, so not necessarily the worst position to be in. Obviously, we do have teams such as Jihu, Make Your Destiny Myth, who do seem to be pretty much confirmed, and yeah, it just looks like a very, very strong position for this team to be in.
Yeah, most definitely. And well, they really did prove what they are worth and prove why they deserve a spot in this Titan series, in the Season 4 of Titan series. So, just to round it all up then, Team 82 won that. Was that 7-4 or 7-5? 7-4.
7-4.
7-4, I thought it was, and well, they played very well, and well, replays really showed what he's worth.
Oh, for
Didn't they?
sure.
That was, and oh, there were some things, there were some shots that he did that I don't know how he pulled off, but nonetheless he did, and well, replays is gonna do replays things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best way to say it.
We saw some incredible play from IOTA though as well. You know, that IOTA is a team that really, really excites me actually, just because you have those very, very interesting sort of compositions. You have just sort of playing against the meta, and I loved what, you know, Lockford in that 1 versus 2 just played it so well. We saw plenty of exciting things from that team as well, and I obviously don't know how that's sort of going to stack up in the rankings. It would honestly be a bit of a heartbreak to not see them through, just because it's it looks they look very, very solid.
Most definitely they do. Well, nonetheless, that is our final game for the evening. Team 82 take it 7-4 against IOTA Esports.
Yeah.
Just we all need a hot minute after that game. That was intense moments,
Yeah.
some big upsets, some people prevailed, some people fell. I have been your cast.
It was surprisingly close for how one-sided it was to start, wasn't it? Like 4 rounds in
Most
a row
definitely.
for Team 82
Yeah.
to start it off. Like, yeah, insane. But yeah, obviously we also have to thank Nanos, who's been observing and producing the last 2 games and produced all 3. Obviously, I observed for that game number 1. But yeah, who's been doing a wonderful job producing all weekend. Absolutely, props to you. Obviously, we've been the casters, and we also have to thank, obviously, you know, Epsilon, Safe Trippin for, although it hasn't quite been the smoothest sailing, making things as smooth as they can be behind the scenes with all the admin decisions, etc., to make it an enjoyable experience for hopefully everyone involved.
Most definitely. Well, very rounded up, Mr. Uncooked, and I think that is just about time yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to go with it. That is about
I'm going to bed,
time we have for tonight. I have been your cast of Velocity, joined by Uncooked Pasta. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next stream.
Bye.